Now that's how you build a star. That's how you create a new star. That's how you make cinema. That's how you do it. What a main event segment on this Monday Night Raw. Just wow. Solo Sikoa, you know, I was just hoping. I even made a TikTok, before the show talking about how I just hope WWE doesn't touch his character, just makes him a side character if he were to join the bloodline. And even better, they didn't even have him join the bloodline. He defies Roman, he defies the bloodline, teams up with LA Knight, takes them all out. Just wow. And the bloodline has felt very just here or there, nothing crazy. And I think WWE has really been trying to get to that peak bloodline story, that bloodline cinema that we had, for WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania 40, and they've just not been able to get there. And I think they've been slowly getting there. And I feel like we're at like a certain point where we're, making building blocks. First was Jacob joining, and now this whole solo storyline with LA Knight. I think this is really just the best build up for this. And I think what they're really trying to do is just build new baby faces and going to use Roman to do that. And this is just great. I'm so excited to see where this is going to go. I think Solo Sikoa is somebody that's, didn't really look like anything when he was the enforcer of the bloodline. Like there was just nothing really going on for him. They were even poking jokes, when The Rock was saying he's gonna sing the national anthem, there wasn't really going anything on for him. And then, he becomes the new tribal chief, it was kind of there. You did see glimpses of a good, there was something there. Like there was a good character there. There's a possible either a really good heel or a really good baby face. Just WWE didn't really know how to get it out of him. And I think they found it now. And credit to Solo, man. He has been funny. He has been entertaining. Just everything about him has been great. And, tying him with LA Knight, who's somebody that, of course, the fans are so behind. We were waiting for him to finally get his opportunity to be a world champion, to get that opportunity to just be part of the main event, really. And having both of them just feels like a great pair. And I think we're going to go into a really good storyline now with Solo, with LA Knight, with the rest of the bloodline. I think this is gonna be cinema. And when we really talk about tonight, Solo being put in the main event with the rest of the bloodline, Roman is talking about, you actually should have acknowledged me a while ago. He even has like this whole video of him beating him, at the January episode of Monday Night Raw when they first debuted on Netflix. And then, he's telling him, you should have acknowledged me. He tells him, what's funny? He takes off his glasses, smashes his glasses. You have Jacob attack him, choke him out, have him like on the ground. He even gives, the Usos their own Ulafala, which looks really sick. Let's be real. That black Ulafala looks cool. And, they're captains now of it. And then, I think, Jacob tries to attack Solo again. And he's like, no. Not Solo. He tries to attack LA Knight. My bad. He tries to attack LA Knight. And he tells him, no, you stay on the side. You listen to me, which is a huge catalyst for the rest of the segment. And we really get to see the crowd, I think, and not even just the crowd at the arena, but, I was looking through Twitter all this, past night after the show, and everyone was just so cramming and popping for Solo. Just a crowd, you can hear it like, no, don't do it. Don't spike LA Knight. And the pop when he spiked Roman was just amazing. And I know I'm a little all over the place, but I'm just so excited now with that segment, because I think that segment really just showed what we've been missing. It really gave me glimpses back to, the Royal Rumble a few years ago, where Sami Zayn has a steel chair in his hands, and, Kevin Owens is tied up to the ropes and he ends up hitting Roman. It was kind of just that feeling. I don't think we had that feeling in a good while, especially with the bloodline. And for it to be of all people with Solo and LA Knight, it's pretty crazy. But I think this was just perfect. I think they really handled it well. They built up the suspense really well. And I did love the little, accent of how Jacob was in the corner. He didn't do anything. He watched everything. He watched it all happen because he was told to do what he's told. Roman told him to stay and do nothing, and he did nothing. And I think that was just a nice little cherry on top of it. Solo and LA Knight takes care of the rest of them. Roman and the Usos, and just does a fantastic job of just making Solo and LA Knight just the stars. And I think this is really just going to continue to whenever this kind of is going to end. I feel like, of course, WWE is probably going to prolong this till WrestleMania, and regardless if that's either Solo or LA Knight finally taking the belt off of Roman, or of course if they do end up doing something with Money in the Bank, that's here nor there. But I can really see either Solo or LA Knight be the ones to take that title off of Roman. I could see where maybe either LA Knight finally gets that match with Roman, and Solo and Jacob end up helping him get that title, or Solo finally gets a title with the help of LA Knight and Jacob. I think that's kind of the play right here. But this night really just showed what kind of talent there is with LA Knight and Solo, especially Solo. And I'm so glad WWE, because they're so accustomed to just stop being someone who got over on their own and got over when they didn't want them to get over, or when it's not kind of what they planned for. And it's so refreshing to see them, you know what, let's go with this story. He's hot, let's keep going. And not delaying like Solo's like turn against the bloodline. Like they didn't end up like, oh, he joins and he's just kind of like that enforcer in the background, doesn't say much, and then finally like months later turns on them. Like, no, they did it right now. And I think that was perfect. It really kind of feels like the storyline is moving along. It's moving. We got something going, we got momentum, and I think that's what this really needed. And I'm glad they didn't hold it off or anything. But yeah, I think Solo, just like I'm gonna say what Jacob said, I love you, Solo. And man, just excited now to see where they go. I'm actually excited to tune into Monday Night Raw, because especially Raw has kind of been on the decline a little bit for the past few weeks, but I think now it's really picked up, and I'm excited to see where this can kind of lead to and what we end up getting maybe at Sunday night's main event, Money in the Bank, and so on. But let me know how you feel down in the comments down below about Solo and LA Knight and everything going on with the bloodline. Really was just a great episode of Monday Night Raw, and I think that main event was just a cherry on top. See you guys later.